Oh, hello, Miss Pat.
Hello, Joe Rogan.
Good to see you again. Please introduce your friend.
This is Jordan E. Cooper, the co-creator of the Miss Pat Show.
Which, by the way, is a fucking hilarious show. I was nervous when friends say, I got a new show, you're like, oh, I gotta watch this shit. Because so many times you watch your friend's show and it's not good. Your show is fucking good. It's a real solid sitcom, so.
Thank you.
Bravo. And right out of the gate, it's solid. You know, sitcoms take years to get their legs, at least a few episodes. But right out of the gate, your show is very solid.
I wish you knew how hard it was for me to text you to ask you to watch it. I typed the text and I was like, oh, I can't. Because I know how honest you are. And then when I was like, it took me months. And I was like, but I gotta ask him. Because I was like, if Joe like it, then I feel like it was a seal, a solid foundation. And I was like, if I can just, because I got Ari to watch it. And he's like, it's really good. And I was like, I just want to see if Joe will watch it. And I know how fucking busy you are. And when I sent the text, and I was like, oh my God, he's not going to watch it now. And when I hit you back, hey, and he was like, I'm in the Mediterranean, whatever the fuck that word you use. You somewhere where birds don't have wings, but they still fly. You was on vacation.
Where was I?
Somewhere rich people go.
Birds don't have wings, but they still fly? What kind of riddle is this? What the fuck?
It's called a crackhead. That's to solve the riddle.
Birds don't have wings, they still fly?
I just imagine that's where you fuck you was at.
I can't.
Some heavenly place. I can't
I was
afford
on
to
vacation.
Go. You was on vacation. I think you
okay.
said you was in the Mediterranean. I'm fucking up the word.
Probably the Caribbean.
It started with an M.
M?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
I was so probably I don't. We was texting. So
Okay.
when you started to text me like the jokes in the show, I was like, oh, you don't know how much air went out of my titties that day, Joe.
It's a good show. I'm very happy it's a good show. I'm very happy. It's rock solid. It really is.
We worked our ass off to get it. It was so hard with a comedy because to me, comedy is so rehashed, and I feel like Hollywood is so out of ideas. That's why we getting all these fucking reboots that even with the pilot, we went through the hand and toe to make sure you haven't heard it.
Original jokes.
The original jokes. And a lot of it is my stand-up. And so that was another thing. I was like, should I send Joe this? Oh, his honest opinion. And I asked you for your honest opinion. You was like, oh, Pat, I really don't want to watch it because I don't like watching my friends. I said, just watch the shit. You can't hurt my feelings. I've been shot. I've had gonorrhea. I've been hit by the free fucking thing. Give it to me, Joe, like hard dick with no condom. And so you text back and I immediately text him and say, look what fucking Joe Rogan said. I can't, the N-word. And I because your fucking podcast is so big. She said the N-word on Joe Rogan. No, fuck you. But I
You
immediately
said it in the past on here.
Well, I texted her. I said, nigga, look what Joe Rogan said. I said, wake your black ass up, nigga. Joe Rogan like our show. Joe Rogan like our show.
And like I said, it takes a while. Like when I did news radio, that was in the 90s, it took like 4 or 5 episodes before the show really started finding its way. Yeah. It takes a while.
It does. I like I first saw Pat like maybe I was a senior in high school. I'm 26 now. I was a senior in high school. My dad had recorded her on this daytime talk show, and he was like, you got to watch her.
Harry Connick Jr.
Yes, Harry Connick Jr.
Harry Connick Jr. I remember that show.
Yep.
You were on that show?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
And my dad was like, you got to watch her. Like, she's hilarious. Like, you'll love her. And so I sat down and watched, and I just fell in love because I like to do the type of comedy where it's like you laugh over the pain, you laugh over it, you laugh through it, and that's her life.
That's Miss Pat.
That's her brand. And so I was like, damn, like, whenever she gets a book, I'm going to read that damn book. Like, I'm going to study it. That's going to be my shit. Then I got to college. Book came out. It was like $35. I couldn't afford it. So I screenshot it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to come back and I'm going to get this book when I get some money. Never was able to get the book. But I wrote this play called Ain't No Mo that went to the Public in New York.
What's it called?
It was called Ain't No Mo. And it was at the Public Theater. And Lee Daniels saw it. And after he saw it, he was like, hey, we're trying to do a TV show for this comedian. Her name is Miss Pat, but we don't really have a concept. Nobody really knows what they want to do. So can you just read her book and see if you can come up with a concept for a show? And I was just happy to get the damn book. But I read it and I just fell in love and I immediately saw this sitcom in my head. Because I'm a big fan of like old school sitcoms like All in the Family, The Jeffersons, Good Times with a live studio audience. And I just felt like putting like her in this dollhouse of a sitcom and just burning all
Put
of
your
it
hands down, son. God damn, you talking with your hands. God damn, Joe Rogan, you ain't got, you can tell.
It's okay. He's
expressing
I'm a
himself.
homosexual. We talk with our hands.
Homosexual.
He's
Put your
expressing
goddamn hands
himself.
down. Now you out here trying to
Let
get
him
men's on the
express
slide.
himself. Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he throwing
With the
out.
hands?
He's throwing
That's
out
right. I
gay
guess
shout outs.
it's a mating
you
call?
Didn't hear?
How
It's
do
a
you
mating
get
call.
men with your
It's a
hands?
mating call.
Dick.
Just moving
Dick. You didn't say dick.
That's it. I'm learning so much today. Birds who fly with no wings. This is how you get dick.
Yes.
I'm
Put your
learning.
hands down, Joe. You can get dick. Put your hands down. He young.
It's for you to be 26 and to create a show is pretty fucking amazing.
It was a ride,
it
Joe,
was-
because
listen.
when Lee first brought this kid to me, and I'm honest, and I know Hollywood is full of shit, and it's so hard to get people in the industry not to sound like a talking fucking tech. Everybody say the same goddamn thing, and I have to break them down. Either you be honest with me or I don't fuck with you. So when I met him and Lee was like, "Oh, I got this kid. He fell out of heaven and da da da," and I'm like, "Okay, Lee." And he told me I'm in fucking Utah, so I'm performing. He said, "Get your ass on the plane. You gotta go see the play." It's the last night. I said, "I don't know if you know how this shit work, but I'm a comedian. I don't get paid till tomorrow, and I ain't going no goddamn where. I need my little pennies, okay?" So they put me on a plane. I flew over to watch him, and I deal with people with spirits, your energy. I can just tell if you're a good person. I can tell when shit is gonna happen. And when I met him, I said he could do it. And the first thing I did, I called him and I said, "They're never gonna give you this job." He said, "But Lee said they're gonna hire me." I said, "No, they're not." He said, "Why you say that?" I said, "Because you ain't never did shit, and they don't understand. Hollywood want what everybody else's want. Yeah. They don't want you until somebody else done fucked you and bust your booty hole. I mean, take that out. Take that out.
No, keep it in there. Keep it in there.
Hollywood don't want you. I didn't know. I didn't mean to say that.
It's true. You did mean to say it.
No,
you
I
meant
just
it.
shut the fuck up. You trying to get me canceled?
No, I'm trying to get you elevated.
They don't want you until somebody else done bust you in.
It's true.
And
It's true.
as soon, now he got all kind of interviews, but I sat
Right.
him down and I said, they're gonna take you to fancy dinners and try to blow your fucking mind. I said, if you listen to a real nigga like me, we can do this. I said, now I'm gonna be honest with you. Lee is busting his ass to get this job for you. I said, but while Lee is busting his ass to get you this job, let me show you how to get this job. He said, what I got to do? I said, let's write a pilot behind these motherfuckers' back. And I started to tell him what the other two writers wouldn't listen to me on. And he listened. And we wrote that motherfucking by 8 days. So when we finished it, I said, he put his name on it. I said, take your fucking name off of it.
Which I was like, what?
Because let me tell you why I'm a hood bitch. I'm a hood. I mean, everything for me come from the knowledge that I got from streets. Okay, you can never outsmart me because I'm you might can spell a word right, but motherfucker, I got Google and 2 daughters with a college degree, so I get your ass back on that too. So I told him, I said, take your name off. He's like, why? I said, because if they don't like it, they're not gonna give you the fucking job. But if I tell them I did it, I'm the star of the show. They're gonna, oh, Miss Pep, throw that shit in the trash can. We're gonna get you a writer. So what we did, he took his name off. I said, one thing you ain't never got to worry about me doing is stealing shit from you. I'm not that type of person. I said, what the fuck I look like stealing shit? These people know I can't spell all this shit correctly.
That's exactly what she did. She called Lee and she sent it to Lee, and Lee called her and said, who the fuck wrote this? And she said, me. He said, no, you didn't, bitch, because everything's spelled right.
That's what he said. And I said, and that's when I said, me and Jordan wrote. And you want to hear something so crazy? So this kid just graduated college, right? And Lee was like, just drop out of college. You're going to be a famous. I said, don't you drop out of fucking college. So I asked him, I said, do you have final draft? He was like, no, he's poor as fuck. He said, I don't have final draft. I said, nigga, take my credit card, take my debit card, go buy you some grocery and buy final draft. All while Imagine had me interviewing writers, Joe. Me and him, I said,
Yep.
right, nigga, right. They got me another interview. Right, nigga, right.
Yeah. But like what's funny though, yo, is that like she
Oh my God, I'm
like
crying.
it was something. I was talking about this yesterday. I was like, it takes a lot to earn Pat's trust in that sense, because she was literally, it was like she was entrusting me with her comedy and her story. And so like it was funny where like I would write a draft of something and I would send it over to her and she would read it. She'd be like, "Nigga, why you got me cussing?" I said, "Because that's how you talk." She said, "Nigga, I don't motherfucking talk like that. Take that shit out." I said, "No, that's how you talk." And I was like, we have to do a new kind of sitcom. I wanted to do something where it's like you could just be yourself.
Yeah.
You know, because you look at all those old shows, you look at Sanford and Son with Red Fox, or even the Richard Pryor show that he had for like 3 seconds. And it's like, imagine if he was just allowed to be himself.
Right.
That show would have lasted forever. You know what
Sanford
I mean?
and Son, Red Fox got as close as you can get on a network television show to being Red Fox.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
About as close as you can get.
Exactly.
But they don't do those anymore.
They scared.
They're
And when
scared.
he came to me and he said, well, actually, after we wrote the pilot, they immediately gave him a job. After we wrote the pilot, they was like, this kid can write. And I told him, I said, see, I know the fuck I'm talking about. Because Hollywood is so scripted. They scared to step outside the box. They're going to give you the same old bullshit. We need a black writer. Well, that black writer might not understand what the fuck Miss Pat trying to do. And I went through a few that did not understand what I was trying to do. With him, I took him and I said, if you just listen, we can create something. Just listen to these stories. I just need you to put the shit in the right form. And he did. And he got the fucking job.
Well, as a 26-year-old man, you're willing to take chances, too. That's
Oh,
the thing.
God.
When people get to be 46 and they've got all this stuff behind them and then they're worried about offending or they're worried about pissing off the network or they're worried about, getting on the wrong side of the executives.
You got to
scared of
believe in
me.
your project, huh?
I said, you were scared of me.
I was, because he pushed me. I was like, we're not going to say that. That's not what we're going to do. But he pushed me a lot, and it made me realize, oh, well, this is something different. Why not try something different? At least one thing I learned about this ordeal, Joe, if you're going to go down for what you believe in.
Right. Go down
Because I
to-
almost went down twice for what I did not believe in. And we was close to shooting this thing once before. And I was like, I'm so glad that I stood up and said, I'm so glad I didn't need the money. When you need the money, boy, you get into bed with the devil.
Yes.
But I used to tell them, y'all could never give me as much as I could steal. And so I just went, and when I met him and I said, I'm willing, I don't care. I mean, that was a third holding deal. So I wasn't rich, but I could buy better wigs, and I was on the road and I was selling my t-shirts. So I was cool. And I was saying, we gonna stick together and we gonna fight for what we want. And we did.
That's the show that you showed me is about as close to you as you could get.
Yeah.
It's right there.
It's me.
It's right there and it's just starting. That's what's amazing. It's like if you get one of those shows and you get let it breathe and grow and give it a couple of months and give it 6 episodes, give it 10 episodes, give it a year, give it second season. Fuck, you got a real good shot with the show. A real good shot.
And I was so happy when you told me that night.
It's real. It's very good. It made me laugh hard.
Thank you. Y'all hear that? Don't be scared to come on over to BET Plus, white people. Come over there and matinees that bitch up.
Well, with streaming now, it's like networks doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
You just have to have a good show.
Right.
Just gotta have a
you
good
gotta
show.
step into
Yeah.
it. You gotta step into it because it's like and I think that's the thing that why we ran into a lot of trouble even selling it initially or even getting it picked up originally was that I think it was too real. It was a little bit too real.
Oh yeah, Joe. They was asking dumb. I'm not gonna say dumb question because when you're not familiar with a person's culture, they was asking like one of the kids' name is Janelle, and what did they ask you?
Oh, they were like the name was too ethnic. Somebody said the name. I was like Janelle and Brandon, ethnic.
Janelle.
Really? Or
They
like
couldn't
they were like-
handle Janelle. But that's executives. They always want to fuck with things.
If they would only leave shit alone.
Yeah.
And even when we left Fox, we went from Fox to Fox Studios, and then we went to.
Because the deal originally was at Fox, right? And then when I came in, because originally it was going to be a single cam show, and then I was like, no, it's got to be a multicam. You got to put her in front of a live audience because she's going to come alive. And they were like, all right, cool, let's do multicam. And then once they read the script, they were like, oh, you got a lot of fucks and motherfuckers and niggas in here. We gonna have to we gonna have to go to Fox 21, which was a division of cable